Hey, what's going on, cleaning owners? Just wanted to come on here real quick, make a video on something that I'm actually personally working on for some of our partners and our clients. If you don't know me already, my name is Alex. I am the co-founder of Scale My Cleaning Business, where we help commercial cleaning businesses scale past 6 and 7 figures, reach their long-term goals. And wanted to come on here today to kind of draw for you a outline for what's called in marketing your customer journey. So in the case of a cleaning owner, one thing that's really important is to not only get new contracts, but also always be thinking and developing ways of retaining contracts. So the number one, or actually the two biggest things that you should be focusing on to retain your commercial contracts is customer service. So how you respond, how quickly respond. So this could be something like time, personalization, also relationship. What is that relationship that you build in the beginning to retain that customer long term? So the first 30 to 60 days of your business relationship with your clients is by far the most important time. There's been numerous studies about this, not just in cleaning, but I'm just talking about business in general. Of anyone who subscribes to something, they're expecting that return within anywhere between a week to 30 to 60 days. The quicker the return, the better. So if you're able to provide an excellent service all around within a week, that is a great start to that business relationship, and you should definitely maintain that. If anything, continue to improve it. But yeah, definitely the time it takes to respond to their inquiries. Obviously, you want to set boundaries with this. If they're texting you at 1 a.m., don't respond at 1 a.m. because then they're going to think that that's okay. So you got to draw the line somewhere. But within a reasonable amount of time, and also just setting the right expectations up front, and then personalizing your services to what they need. One thing that we teach a lot at Scale My Cleaning Business is you really want to not just kind of talk to them in terms of what they need cleaning wise, but also how is that cleaning going to help them in their business and their life? How is it going to help them save time and money and energy to pretty much just focus on what matters in their business rather than focusing on cleaning? And then also maybe that cleaning could attract new customers. I mean, it all depends on who you're talking to, and it's all just about asking the right questions and understanding your avatar. Whether you're talking to a property manager or a gym owner, whatever that is. So just getting really clear on that is super important. The other part of this is the actual service itself. So you want to perform not just to standard, but beyond standard. One thing you could do, I was actually talking to someone today with a pretty successful cleaning business. One thing that he mentioned was this quote that I pretty much live by this. He gave me I think a similar one. Is the man or woman who does more than he is paid will soon be paid for more than what he does. So what you can do in your cleaning business is you could actually do just little tiny extra things without them asking. And that over time is really going to put you ahead of all these other cleaning businesses. So most cleaning businesses might not change a light bulb or just do these like little tiny simple things. And by you doing that and going above and beyond for that relationship as well as the service you're providing, that's going to put you in front of a lot of other people. A lot of cleaning owners starting out, they think it's just a game of price, but it's really not. It's just about what is the expectation in that person's head that you're working with, and how do you exceed that expectation? How do you set reasonable and low expectations, but you, as your service and as your company, you exceed those expectations month after month, week after week. So highly recommend that you do this. The other thing too is you also, like I said before, you want to draw that line. So if they're asking for extra services, charge accordingly. Don't let them walk all over you, because if they can do that a little bit, and especially at the beginning, they're going to continue to do that throughout that business relationship. But what I'm talking about here is really just going above and beyond where you can. I had a great discussion with someone today about this. Above and beyond. You also want to check in with a client. Check in. So really in the first month, so like I said, that 30 to 60 day period is the most important. So you really want to check in like how they're doing, phone call. Guys, don't check in by sending emails. Emails is kind of like the last resort when it comes to building that relationship. But in the first month, you want to be on the phone talking to them. You could even review the last 30 days, be like, hey, is there anything that, we could do to help and make this even a better experience for you? By you asking that question, that's going to, even if you're not doing a good job, by asking that question, it just shows that you actually care, which is another thing that, the competition might not be doing, which I can almost guarantee that half of them are not doing that. So if you have a system in place for doing that, that's amazing. And then also, once you have these things dialed down, which are the most important thing by far, it doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you are getting contracts and they're staying with you for at least 3 to 6 months, that's a really good sign. If you can get them to stay longer, that's even better. And after that 3 to 6 month period or around there, you want to start introducing some type of referral program. So like, hey, do you really like this service? And then you want to give them something good that's irresistible for them to refer you. So you can give them maybe a complimentary cleaning, anything like that. Maybe it costs a little bit in the short term, but by you giving them that cleaning as well as getting that referral, that's going to bring you in so much more money than, kind of that 1 month where you're offering whatever it is. So there's also a couple of other things that you could also do to enhance, I would say, the relationship. So one example is to pretty much just have what I was talking about earlier, kind of like this customer roadmap. So it's like, after this customer gets onboarded, what is their experience? What are all the things that you can do? What are little small, tiny things that you can do to set yourself apart and really just enhance that relationship? So like I said, customer service is the number one key thing. But there's also some side things. So what you could do is create kind of this journey. So for example, in the first, let's say 1 to 2 weeks, you send them a handwritten card. And a lot of this stuff, you can actually pretty much automate this. So there's a website called Handwritten. I think there's like 1 or 2 other websites that are pretty similar to this one. This is the one that I know, but for, I think it's like $2 or $3, you can just, or I guess they have a subscription, but I believe it's about $3 per letter. You can automatically send this to your clients. So if you're using something like a CRM where you're putting all your leads, you can actually send out a handwritten card and just have it, kind of use their name and all that kind of stuff within that card. And it looks like a regular handwritten card. There's a lot of ways to kind of automate that. And put it this way, I mean, you're spending $3 to $5, but isn't that worth it if the client stays even just an extra month or something like that? I mean, there's so many small things that you can do. You could also just schedule maybe like a phone call, like I said, phone call or check-in. You can also have maybe like an email and or text campaign. So this is something, if you have your avatar dialed in, so let's say, for example, you're only working with property managers. Imagine if you, especially in the first month or two, imagine if every week you sent them helpful tips on how to grow their property management business and just things to avoid, things to do. Maybe you send them, some resources or connections that could help them, grow their business. Imagine the relationship that you would have with that person as a cleaning business. Checking in with them, having phone calls every week, and then over time, kind of, you can spread that out a little bit more, as you have that relationship built up. So maybe on month 3, you only call them maybe once or twice a month just to check in. And once you have actual people in place, you can train supervisors to do this exact thing. Also, you can report back. So when you have a supervisor, you can, or if maybe it's yourself, maybe when you go to the property, you have a certain checklist of, hey, we're doing this, this, and this. And you could, on a monthly basis, report that back to the client. And with that, you can create processes for that. The reason this is so important, and I know I'm kind of maybe throwing a lot out there at you, especially if you're a newer business and maybe a lot of this doesn't make sense quite yet. But the reason I'm kind of putting all this out here is because it's so important to not only get clients, but retain clients. Because as an example, let's say you're getting, let's say you have 3 contracts, right, for $500 a month, or I'll even just make it an easy $1,000. So you have 3 contracts, so 3K. You're starting out 1K, 1K, 1K. So the total is 3K, right? So let's say your service is good, but your customer service is horrible, and this first one stays for 2 months. So you've earned 2K in revenue, right? And then the second one, let's say you have a great relationship. Maybe it was a referral. You're performing well. The service is great. The customer service is great. This person stays on for 2 years, 24K over the course of 2 years. And then this one was kind of on the fence. Maybe a small business owner. Maybe they're on a tight budget, something like that. And maybe you didn't have the best expectation set in the very beginning. Maybe they were just complaining about the service a lot, just didn't really work out. Maybe they only stay for 1 month. And we'll just have that one at 1K. So total, you're earning 27K out of those. If you can master this process, and I'm not saying every client is going to be perfect. There's always going to be problems. There's always going to be setbacks. It's just a numbers game in the end of the day. But if you could even improve this process by, let's say, half, that 27K would essentially double. And there's a lot of, like I said, there's just all these small things that you could do to set yourself in front of these other cleaning owners. And another thing to always assume is that these business owners are always going to try to save money. They're always going to see it as a money thing. But if you can turn that and flip that script around and turn it into a relationship thing and showing that you're here to help them in their business and just showing up and showing that you care, they're never going to leave you. I can pretty much always guarantee, unless there's some type of emergency or something crazy that happens, personally or within their business. But yeah, like let's say these 3 contracts, right? Let's say you're able to, do excellent with the service, do excellent with the customer service, and you also have all these things in place. Let's say they all stay with you for, let's say 2 years. So 3K times 12. And then let's say they stay with you for 3 years. So if you're able to master this process, you're bringing in about 108K to your business just from those contracts. And this is not to mention if you get new contracts in a year's time. If you're signing 1 to 2 contracts a month at this rate, you're going to have a multi-million-dollar business. So let's say your average lifetime value is 2 years, right? And your average contract size is 1,000. So, and then you're maybe signing let's just say 1 deal a month. So in 12 months, you have 12 deals, and then added with those 3, and then added with 12, 24, 36 times 36. So within a year, you'll basically be at $500,000, just with that type of growth. And getting contracts, getting clients, it's all about just marketing. So out of 10 quote opportunities, if you're able to close 2 to 3, then that's a really good pace. So, and that's not going to be a problem. So if you want to learn more about that, I'm going to put some links below this video. But yeah, this is kind of the other side that I think a lot of people don't really talk about. But if you actually look at the hidden math behind it, this could be the difference between you being, a cleaning business that's making maybe like 10 to 20K a year versus one that's making 10 to 20K or even 50K a month. So that's kind of a huge part of this. And if you can get these foundations down in the very beginning, so if you're just starting out, maybe you only have 1 or 2 contracts, but if you can make them super happy in your services, and if you can replicate that to new contracts, you're also going to grow at a very rapid pace, because you may not see it now, but on the next client and the next client and the next client, you're going to be able to retain those clients as well as be able to accept new contracts. As long as you have that sales and marketing side and that hiring side dialed down. So hopefully this video was helpful. I know there's quite a bit that I kind of threw out there, but yeah, if you have any questions, you can just reach out to me anytime, or just anyone on our team. We have our Facebook group, or if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put some of the links down below. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful, and I'm looking forward to hearing about everyone and their goals after the new year and the holidays. Hopefully everyone has a great holiday, and I will see you later. Thanks.